Stitch social here on this Sunday, and we have 5 hours of barbecue ahead of us, so I am just sitting here on the deck just watching the barbecue. Things are not on yet, we're just heating it up. We have what is called as an egg, and so Daniel has a signature rib dish that he does, and it needs 5 hours to cook. So he told me that I'm on barbecue watch. Not like it's a choice. So I'm gonna get comfortable here. I'm rarely here on the back deck of our home. I don't know why, it's just not as cozy as it may appear. Just personally, whatever. So anyway, so we're just gonna bring you in a little closer so I can read your monitor stuff. So if you wanna talk to me, what's on your mind, I'm working on a concept in theory just to see how it's gonna turn out, and have a little diagram that I've done to see how it's gonna go. So yeah, so we have Chicago in the house with Kathy is starting off our chat today, and welcome. So I'm just kind of sitting here. The weather looks good for now. We're on hurricane watch. We will be having to put stuff away if a hurricane is projected to come near us. They're projecting something, but they don't know the severity yet, so we're gonna deal with that when we come. Daniel's banging around here in the tractor. You may see him in the background. He's working on the waterfall today, and I have been filming for the morning, so yeah. So making it live, welcome, and thank you so much for coming. Football starts today in the States. I'm not much of a football person, but so yeah, it's just not my thing. Actually, any kind of sports. When I was a kid, like there was only 2 television stations, and it was always sports afternoon. And anyway, it was just a terrible afternoon. Never got into it. So I don't get why people scream out loud when people score and stuff. Just not in my DNA. So I'm not criticizing it. It's just not something I've gotten into. Yeah. So we have Melissa said it's nice weather in Saskatchewan. Hate to see this, but I'm quitting knitting and crochet, and all I've been asked people is to respect after receiving a gift. Okay, I know. I could only read a short sentence, so I never got all of that. So I don't know. So I'm not sure why they're quitting crochet or knitting. So maybe it's a hand issue or something. I don't know. So Hurricane Lee is currently in the Atlantic. They're saying that we're going to get something, but I don't know the severity of that. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're facing, but I'm not going to worry about something that I cannot fix, so I'm just going to try to do our best. But certainly we have to put things away, and yeah, so that's kind of what's going on around here on this Sunday afternoon. So if you want to see where your local friends are, I recommend that here on YouTube, if anybody makes a comment, like not today generally speaking, but just generally speaking, as somebody's trying to do a hookup with you, I would recommend that you don't bother. I don't know why people think YouTube is a way to hook up, but I don't know. So anyway, so the algorithm and spammers like to be able to get into that, so I don't know. So that's kind of what we're having going on. So it's a cool damp day in Wisconsin. It's a beautiful day here. It's actually pretty warm in the sun. Pretty hot actually. The air conditioning of the house is on. It's been on for the last couple days, but it'll be off soon. It was off for all of August, but it was constant for all of January, or all of July. But I got my hydro bill. Oh my God. Yep. Not so good. So yeah, so we're here in a crochet social. Somebody says we're here. Born in Nebraska, now in Arizona. So I have Arizona in the house. So people want to share what they're working on. So what are you working on? I'm working on a Christmas concept in my brain. I know I can bang it out pretty fast. It's a blanket in my brain. I did a Santa hat yesterday, And the Santa hat is so cute, but I don't want to write a pattern for it, nor do I want to film it. The reason for it is that it required some free-forming, and because you can't teach free-forming, people don't get it, and I don't really want to go through the whole process of filming it. It took me like 5 hours to make the hat, so I think filming all of the little changes that I did and stuff, I don't know if it's, I don't think people will have the patience to go through a video like that, but it is pretty damn cute. So I posted that on Facebook this morning. So we're in heavy fall festival live events here in Nova Scotia. Been a lot of stuff going on this weekend, next weekend, and all the way till Christmas. We are very much in a tourist area, which I love. The corn maze just opened yesterday for the first time, and so people from around Nova Scotia and people that are traveling in go visit the corn maze. You know, it's a perfect first date. You know, if you don't like your date, just send them down a different path and just exit through the gift shop. But anyway, so we're very close to something like that. So the traffic gets a little busy, but you know what? Yeah. Somebody says we need more tutorials. So I am working on stuff. I was working on a knitting tutorial this morning. I know, don't even go there. But it was in my head and I really wanted to kind of film it. It was cable work. So that was something I wanted to do for myself. So sometimes I film it just for myself, right? So that I can refer to my stuff later so that I understand how I did something. So anyway, I've been teaching myself how to do cabling with knitting. I know. Just hit me with the hammer already. So my friend Kelly Ray is here. She's my local good friend. She's my stitch buddy at Stitch Day, and I feed her candy. And I'm like, here, Kelly, have you been a good girl? And she goes, yes, sir, I have. And so anyway, I feed her bonbons, and we actually have a really good time. So it's nice to have a good friend like that. Do you have good friends like that? I don't know. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna add something to this particular blanket that I don't know people are gonna like, but you know what? Whatever. So yeah, so we have lots of stuff always going on here on the channel. And what else is going on in people's minds? Tippy Toes Crochet Blanket. I know exactly the one you're talking about, Cecilia. And that's Daniel banging around here on the tractor. Okay. Somebody has best friends since when they were 9. I have, I think, 1 or 2 contacts maybe on Facebook. One for sure that I can recall that is actually from my childhood, but everybody else is a lost cause. Maybe 2, 3. Hardly anybody. I kind of grew up I moved every year for quite so many years, and basically you didn't have any friendships that lasted because the move was significant. So I never really maintained any friendships from school at all, and that's pre-internet, so you can't really keep in touch. I did have one boy that wrote me a letter. Never wrote him back because I wasn't in the mood. Nice friend I am. But yeah. But does Daniel know that you're hanging up on you when does Daniel know not to hang up? Oh, right, damn right he does. When I got home, I said, you were like that television show where people give instructions and then they ram down the phone without any pleasantries. And I said, you are not to do that to me, bitch. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the story of how it goes. Anyway, I was just so shocked. Yeah. I was just so shocked he did that to me. I'm like, that ain't happening twice. Don't even get thinking about that. So this story behind that short is that Daniel broke the invisible fence that has the dog's collars. Anyway, the fence has been out of commission for a week, and so it takes 2 seconds to wire the damn thing back up because he cut it with the tractor. And anyway, so when I went to go get my coffee this morning, or my tea, I should say, when I looked at my mirror, and Salty had followed me to the highway, which he can't normally do that. So anyway, I slammed on the brakes, tried to call Daniel, and all I said is Daniel's off property, and next thing I know, beep, 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 like he hangs up on me. So anyway, but then I hear him yell like instantaneous. Salty and the dog, Salty ran all the way back to the house, which is a good boy. Anyway, that was kind of my sad little story. Yeah. So, okay, so I look so relaxed, says Yolanda, and Daniel rolls his eyes very, very well. Yeah, well, if you're in a relationship with me, you'd have to, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed to be in a relationship with anyway. I'm a workaholic, so I'm kind of married to my work, which does not make me a very pleasant person, because I'm always thinking about work. Okay, so what is going on with this? So I've got an idea in my head. I don't know if it's working though. I just got to think for a second. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk. I don't think it makes sense, but I'll take a risk. Yeah, okay. Will you be doing anything soon with something in the size of, okay, I missed it, sorry. I can only read just like a sentence or so. So if I don't mind you chatting at me, just keep it short. My phone only shows just a little snippet of what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know if my idea is gonna work. But before I quit, I'll just keep trying, right? I don't think it's gonna work though. I'm here late. Are you working on something in particular? Sounds like you're design. I'm just thinking about an idea. I just want to bang it into my head and see if it's going to work. I'm not sure the math is going to work. That's my thing. Never try, and never untry. Says the smartest person I know online today. Not saying that the rest of you aren't smart. And Kelly's my friend, and she's always the sound of reason. Yeah, I think that might work. I don't know why it works, though. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, well, I'll just go with it and just fake it or make it, eh? Unicorn snuggle sack. We have a unicorn snuggle sack if you want that. Do you do crochet with size 30? I'm not sure what that means. What color is that green? It's very pretty. I think it just says green. It's like a grass. I think it's grass green actually. But I don't know. Yeah. So cover the deck. You'll like it better. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't know. I'm a workaholic, as I just mentioned, so I like to be inside all the time. I'm just a pathetic person that way. So it reminds me of the Red Heart Spring Green. So I'm using Caron 1 Pound today. And I'm just trying to see if a concept, I want to do one whole repeat of what I'm working through and see what I do there. Do I use crochet thread? It's no, I don't. I was going to say it's really rare, but the reality is that I don't. My hands, because I crochet since I was a kid, I just don't have the fine tune, I don't have the dexterity in my hands to be able to crochet with thread. Does that sound like a pathetic answer? If a piece of paper falls on the ground for me, it's got to stay on the ground. I don't have the dexterity with my fingers to be able to pick it up. To be like, especially if it's on a flat, like a concrete surface. So if it falls down, it's permanently down. I can't bend my hands properly to pick up paper. So I don't know if this is gonna work. It feels like it's off, but I will keep going. So love the new Bernat tweed. Is there a pattern for a hat with that? I don't know if there is or not. You have to check yarnspirations.com. I did knit a hat with that yarn. It's on the membership side of our channel here. I love the yarn. I think it's amazing. And I'm going to go check the barbecue. So talks amongst yourselves. The crochet is what, or the topic is anything you want it to be. And I will be right back in just a few moments. I just gotta check. 1, 2, 3. Wow, this pattern feels wrong. Yet I'm the designer, it just feels wrong. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why it works. Okay, let me check that barbecue. And nothing's on it, it's just heating up. I'm waiting for Daniel to turn around. He's in the tractor itself. I have authorization. I'm not the cook of the house. So Daniel prepared our things. He has a signature fall off the bone spare ribs. So it's going to take 5 hours to cook starting right now. Okay, and I'm back. So the barbecue is in my line of vision. Keep it on. So I have to maintain a 300-degree green egg today. We slow cook on the egg. We don't use it that often, but yeah. So welcome to everybody. Sorry, I just had to do that. Go get some ribs and barbecue now, somebody says. We have a hurricane in California as well. So I haven't seen any news. I've talked about this on a few broadcasts before. Canada has a block on the news on the social media side and also search engine side. So I am finding myself, I have no idea what's going on in the world. So Daniel's just been kind of keeping an eye on the weather for Hurricane Lee. So if anybody links to an article that is news related, it gets blocked. So I really honestly have no idea what's going on in the world. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. So yeah, so Gordon is talking about the egg. The egg is a lot of work, but as you're indicating, it is really totally worth it. The food that comes off of it is amazing. So we originally, you know how the barbecues all rust out and stuff? So we switched over to an egg because I've gotten tired of replacing the barbecues. But you can't just have a quick barbecue with an egg. So it always requires planning. So yeah. So they're not blocking news about the hurricane, they're just blocking news, period. It's a whole to-do. It's a really something. So it has everything to do with job security. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm thinking to myself, because of that, I'm not as triggered. So there's a benefit to not knowing what's going on in the world, but then there's a downfall to not knowing what's going on in the world either. So J.A.K. Wood Pigeon is on a patio today as well. So I'm working on an idea, Darcia, of just a concept that's in my head. So I want to kind of go through the first run through and see how I like it. So the egg is one, you've seen the egg. We actually have a Kamado Joe, if that makes any sense. So the egg is behind me, so I'll show you. So yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah. So it's just a slow cooking contraption. Old lady, a grill. Hopefully that person was an old lady. So anyway, it's heavier than this. So anyway, when we bought it, they said it's heavier than shit, and it really, honestly, I'm like, yeah, we can handle it. It's ceramic and it is heavy-ish. I'm surprised it doesn't fall through the deck, honestly. Knock on wood. Yeah. So anyway, so I woke up this morning and you could hear the You could hear the blue jays and everything. Like, we live in a very beautiful area where in the mornings it feels like it's cottage country for those that go to the cottage, and you hear birds and you smell sound, or you smell the smells of the forest and stuff, and that's kind of the area in which we live. So sometimes waking up, especially this morning, it was like I feel like I'm in the cottage even though I'm home. So I kind of like that. Have I ever used glow-in-the-dark yarn? I have not, but I know exactly what you're talking about. You can make glow-in-the-dark yarn. Actually, I think I have a blog on that. There's a recipe that you can actually do to make glow-in-the-dark yarn. Now, how long it lasts is beyond me, but I have not done it. But it was a fad there for a little while. So I think, honestly, I'm seeing people talk more and more about it. So I'm just gonna check the barbecue. I have to maintain 300, so I might have to shut the contraption. Okay. So the dampener, so it has a dampener so you can lower it. It's only at 200 degrees right now. So Daniel wants 300. So we'll figure it out. So I bought him, when we got that, I got him like all these cookbooks with the egg stuff, because I figured he'd actually cook on it more than he does, but he doesn't. Yeah. So I'm using UV reactive yarn, the light festival where I live, a glow-in-the-dark rope. Hard to find UV reactive yarn online. Actually, you know what? They're still available, Gordon. If you go on Yarn Inspirations, if you look up heat wave yarn, they have one color left, and it does activate in the UV, and it does warm up. So when you use it, it warms up because of the UV, and it warms up 12 degrees. I was looking at it the other day because that's what I've been using for my elf hats that I've been working through. We're going to Europe with a crochet event in November, December. So I am purposely doing the heat wave yarn so that it heats up when I'm outside in the light. It doesn't work in the dark though. So it needs the UV light to warm up. So check that out. There's not a lot of stock left, and I think there's only one color left. And it's a good color. I think it's gray. So, you know, you can never go wrong with gray. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a good move. We were talking this morning. I cannot see ourselves moving back to Ontario, Canada. We're basically in Nova Scotia forever now. There's something about East living, like East Maritime living, that is unique, and it's hard to find that elsewhere. So why look when you're happy, right? So I'm trying a sumarai stitch right now with my concept that it's in my head. It doesn't seem like it's following where it should. So I'm going to keep going and see how it goes before I get too judgy on this thing. So beautiful little town north of there, about just over an hour away, somebody says. Yeah, it's, you can't beat where I live. Yeah. The one thing I do notice is that when I get off the airplane, when I get back, you don't realize how much of the air smells like evergreen. until you get off the plane and the plane opens and you realize that's the smell of Nova Scotia. So yeah. So how many pets do I have? We have 2 dogs and 2 cats. But Kelly won't take my 2 cats. So I've been trying to pawn off my cats onto Kelly, but she says, no thank you, 1 is enough. But I'm like, you need to have my 2. So Peg, my friend Peg, she would like to come to Nova Scotia. It's a beautiful spot. So in February, I moved myself into the spare bedroom full time. Daniel has the master, and with the size dog sleeping on the bed, it's like 4 humans on a bed. And so I finally gave up, got all pissy, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna take over. So we have 1 spare bedroom, which is my new bedroom. So I've been sleeping a lot better. And so now I got the cats, and the cats like to fight in my room at nighttime. So I've gotten rid of the idea of 2 huge dogs trying to sleep on the bed, now to 2 cats that like to fight with each other. Yeah. So Dee says she has family roots here. Recently you mentioned how the many countries your viewers are from. I am far from the cold Russia, and so actually Russia has a lot of, our website is visited a lot by Russians, generally speaking. We have in the website alone, we have a lot of people from Turkey and India, as well as Russia, that use our website. So it's neat, it's a neat and it's a privileged thing to have. So really, crochet doesn't know any borders, which I think is amazing about the whole concept. So Bridget is all the way from Quebec. So music, it doesn't know any borders either. It's true. We humans are a fickle species, I tell you. We like to think that we're civil, but we're really not. We're kind of crazy. And we like our yarn. So anyway, I made a short yesterday, and anyway, this one woman that took off her comment, she was really upset that I made a joke about getting prepared for a hurricane that's coming our way. Like, get the yarn, get the storm chips, and she goes, I don't know why you're making a joke out of such a serious issue. And I'm like, I'm really kind of making a joke, but I'm kind of not. Like, you know, like if you're gonna prioritize your yarn and not batten down your house, then that's your own problem. But it's just kind of making light that you got to be prepared, right? So we've been getting updates here at home from our government to be prepared for the weather. And something is definitely wrong in this thing. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm like, yeah, you do you, boo. Is that what they say? You do you, boo. And I think I made a boo-boo. See, it's... Oh, I just don't know when I made the boo-boo. I see it's wrong there. I don't know why it doesn't work. In theory, it's supposed to work, right? What's wrong with preparing for a hurricane? Makes sense to me, yeah. I was just making an offhanded joke, but Daniel actually made a whole, like, freaking pot roast in the last hurricane that we had. He was starting to cook a pot roast, and I'm like, you're an idiot. So he starts cooking it, and then the power goes out for, like, it went out for a day or so. And anyway, so around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, he goes, you want pot roast? And I said, well, how can you do pot roast? Like, you know, you're gonna barbecue or whatever. Turns out he was already cooking it in the oven, and he left it in the oven, didn't bother to open it, and the thing cooked itself. So we had the best meal ever during a hurricane. So yeah. So Daniel's currently working on the pond today. I would take you about, but you're gonna get kicked off of, my internet doesn't go that far. I don't know why this is not working. So I'm just gonna concentrate for a second here. In theory, it's supposed to work. It's just not working on my sample. Oh. Yeah, so anyway, I think there's actually a little bit of a trend happening where people want me to throw them under the bus. So I've had a few people make some offhanded comments and they said they challenged me to, you know, the Crochet Rights episodes. Anyway, I feel like it's almost like a badge of honor if I throw them under the bus. But if you're sitting beside me like Kelly Ray does on Stitch Night, that girl knows, she knows exactly the treads of the bus. Oh God, we have a good laugh. Well, I do. I think she does, secretly too. Anyway, so anyway, I think there's almost a badge of honor if I mention you and I throw you under the bus. So, and I try to keep it educational to some degree. And sometimes you just like, oh my God, did that literally come out of your head? Oh my God. So anyway, so Kelly does enjoy the banter. She likes it rough. Oh, she said banter, not rough. She probably likes it rough too. Yeah. So anyway, I'm working on a concept fawn about, I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm on my second attempt. I was off by one stitch, so it was throwing everything off. So now I think I'm back on track. Okay, I'm gonna just check that barbecue again. If I burn Daniel's meat, it'll be the last time I ever burn the meat. I finished the rage doilies. I love it. Those rages are, I love people's rages. I'm working right now on a Christmas concept. I did a hat yesterday. Do you want to see my hat? I gotta show you my hat. And no, there's not gonna be a pattern for it. But I'll show you my hat that I did yesterday because I'm actually pretty proud of it. And I'll check the barbecue at the same time. So we'll be right back after these short messages. How does that feel like a Saturday morning cartoon? I'll be right back. So I made 2 hats. This one here was my second attempt. It's complete dunce hat. It's just meant to be fun. It's just meant to be a little elf hat. I put stuffing in the tip. Anyway, there's not a great response to this. It's meant to be really just kind of fun and just easygoing. Just kind of a wacky hat. It was meant to be worn in Europe, but I have a 6-inch pom-pom coming in from Amazon. People really don't like this hat, so I said, screw it, I'm not gonna provide the pattern for it because I don't wanna waste my time. I see more of an elf hat than a dunce hat. I see a dunce hat, if you know me too. So anyway, I'm not gonna, this is a one-of-a-kind, not gonna do anything with it. But then last night, I got the urge, and look at this one from last night. Look how long it is. Oh, it's almost bigger than your monitor. Anyway, so this here is a lot of fun. This is the camel stitch, and it's actually a continuous circle. So I started off coming up, and then it just goes around and round like a big taffy. And I'm not gonna rate the pattern for this one because it has special touches, but this hat is so cute. Oh my God. So Daniel wants me to put my thing on the side, you know, put it on the side with a big ass pom-pom here, and it's like a big taffy pull. Anyway, really cute. And so this, I think, will be my hat for Europe. Really kind of fun, and the pom-pom is bigger than my head. So anyway, I think it's kind of fun. I just don't know how to teach this one without mansplaining the hell out of it. But I'm using the exact same colors for my blanket that I'm thinking about. So anyway, this pattern is, there's not going to be a pattern for that. It's a one-of-a-kind. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm a Coca-Cola drinker. That's why I have extra weight. Those hats are amazing. It's such a shame you won't be making a pattern. Yeah, it's okay. There's lots of great patterns. Ola, my meat is doing fine. I can see it from here. It's shut, but it's not really overly smoking. So it's gonna take 5 hours to cook, but you can remind me to do a meat check, and then people that are late to the party won't understand what the hell you're saying. So we have Trinidad and Tobago in the house. I'm probably saying that wrong. You need something that is just yours, says Rainy. I agree, so that one's just gonna be for me. We're doing an elf hat, Santa hat challenge on the event in Europe, so I have to make Daniel's one, so I told him I gotta work on his eventually. Yeah. So right now the scent from the barbecue smells like coal. It isn't smelling great. So Susan is definitely a Coke drinker too. It's a bad thing. Daniel hates it. Daniel doesn't like soda pop, period. So right now I'm just crocheting a sample to see if I'm liking the concept. It's a Christmas oriented thing if it does work. I am finding that crocheters, their patience level they're this small. So I'm trying to come up with a repeating that is easy so you can put the pattern down and just enjoy the stitch journey. So I think there's going to be a repeat of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be 8 rows of repeating, which I think is fine. I'm not using scrap yarn, but I kind of am. People are going to want to know the yardage. I'm not going to be able to know on this one because I'm using leftover yarns from other projects. Big deal. So I'm not a Pepsi drinker. Pepsi makes me really gassy. Actually, I don't even like the taste of it. So I'm a Coke girl. Best drink soda for me is Dr. Pepper. I don't know why. But I do not like any of the diet pops. I think Diet Coke is just disgusting. It's just not for me. So Erica and I are Dr. Pepper sisters. So I don't know why I like Dr. Pepper. I've had that since I was a kid. Yeah. No diet ever, says Richter. Yeah. Black cherry reminds you of Dr. Pepper a little. Yeah, it can. So I quit soda a week ago. Oh, you're on the wrong chat today then. It's an addiction. Kelly got off, Kelly Ray here got off pop for a long time. She was quite proud of herself, but then she snuck back on pop and didn't tell anybody. Oh my God, so bad. So she would advertise, I haven't had pop in this many weeks, and that's a big deal because I'm addicted to the damn shit. And then, but then she stopped bragging about it, and then I'm like, so that she ordered a pop, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're ordering pop? She goes, oh, sweetie, I've been on pop for a while. I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, so that was the sound of the bus going over top of Kelly. So vanilla flavored Coke, diet root beer for me. Yeah. Have you ever mixed diet Dr. Pepper? No. I don't mind ginger ale. I like Canada Dry for sure. So, and then Kirby says they don't like soda. Well, that's even better for you. So, yeah. Diet Pop gives me the awful headaches. Yeah, I believe it. So Daniel made this squash soup, and anyway, so last night I'm thinking, when did I eat corn? And so anyway, he was serving the squash again for the third time, or actually fourth day in a row, and I'm like, oh, here's where the corn's coming from. I couldn't figure it out there. And diet is definitely a 4-letter word, and so is the word soda. That's a 4-letter word too. It's my nemesis. So I don't drink milk like on its own. I used to as a kid, but not as an adult. So Darcia says that she's back. Okay, yeah. So I just yarn is a 4-letter word. See, now you're talking and making sense. Yeah. Oh, Wendy, our Wendy is here and around today. Wendy LCM is our Wendy. She's kicking around on this Sunday afternoon, or probably morning in her time zone. See you tomorrow, corn. Oh, I have a crude joke, but remind me to tell you about it on Wednesday, Kelly. I'll tell you in person. I'm gonna go check my meat. So I'm just using a 4-ply medium weight yarn. So Erica now wants her barbecue. So my barbecue won't be ready for 5 hours. So you might like die of starvation by the time you wait. Daniel and I, we eat dinner late, or supper late, between 6 to 9 p.m. generally speaking. So by the time we are prepared to have supper, a lot of our friends have already had supper, so we end up, if we do go out, we end up going out on our own because we just don't think that far ahead. But yeah, And I know you're not supposed to eat dinner that late, but that's just the reality of my life. So Dr. Pepper tastes a lot like medicine. Well, wasn't Dr. Pepper a medicine at one point? Coca-Cola was, for sure, because it had real cocaine in it. So cheer wine was a favorite, and root beer. So banker hours, dinner time. I find if I eat around 5 o'clock, I'm definitely snacking by 7, and then I'll snack again before bed. So I'm better off to wait for a late supper than I am to have, or like a regular supper, because I will definitely snack and snack and snack. Because, you know, what are you going to do in front of the TV, right? Are you going to push that food into your face? I like tacos. Well, wait, I like tacos, yeah. So JK has been learning with us a long time, so thank you for everything. It's my pleasure, honestly. I love crochet. It's fun. It saved my life more than once, for sure. It gives me something to do. Daniel sits there and he flips on his computer all night, like his little iPad, and he flips. So by the time I see something online, I said, "Did you see this?" And he goes, "Yes." So now it's to the point I don't even bother to say, "Did you see?" Because I know he's already seen it. But for myself, I want something at the end of the night that's not digital to be in my hands, and I've always been that way. But I've been crocheting along before the digital era. But I want my time to count for something and to mean something. So so crochet fits that wish for me. The Dr. Pepper strawberry cone. I have never heard of that. You know, Daniel has an ice cream maker. Maybe he could make something like that. So we stopped buying ice cream. Daniel makes our own ice cream now. And he has ice cream actually ready in about 30 minutes. So by the time you run to the store and pick out your ice cream, he can have it made. I know. So the funny story with that is that Daniel gets diagnosed that he's borderline diabetic, and the ice cream machine arrived the next day, and I'm like, oh my God, you just got diagnosed diabetic, and your ice cream machine just arrived. He goes, yeah, just kill me already. So anyway, but he's learned to make ice cream in more of a healthy way, and yogurts and a lot of great things. So he can basically eat as much ice cream as he wants without going into overload. But he made this really terrible one. This is just between us friends, but it tasted like a effing cold salad. It was awful. Anyway, I bit into it and I thought I was having like, ugh. And so he put, it was a basil ice cream. It was nasty. And he goes, you just gotta live a little way. So apparently Wendy makes delicious ice cream. Yeah. But that basil ice cream was nasty ass. Ugh. Avocado ice cream is delicious. So apparently crocheting the mat for plaid placemats by Yarn Inspirations. So Kelly has learned also to crochet from me. Welcome to the nut house. Rainey says, I buy delicious ice cream. Now there's the girl that knows how to shop. It's hilarious. Cheesecake is my best flavor. Okay, now that I just did that, so that's kind of what I got going on. Okay, so now I got some single crochets in the back loop only. Why did I do that to myself? Because I'm an idiot. Fine, I'll honor my wishes, back loop only, but I'm not gonna like it. Okay, well, maybe I'll like it a little bit. Okay, sorry, I'm counting. Okay, below for the win. Oh, Kelly, you're so bad. I was gonna invite you over for supper and everything. No, I'm not. Say crude stuff on my live chats. Hey, Kelly, aren't you working today? It's Sunday. You're supposed to be working. So you can't just read a pattern. That's fine, honestly. Sometimes sometimes you just gotta make it or fake it, right? So somebody said there's salmon ice cream. That has got to be like the worst. I'm not a fan of avocado, period. I just never got into that. So the question is, do I keep the back loop only or not? Is it worth it? I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna sit, I just gotta count. So you can talk amongst yourselves. I'll leave the chat going so you can make some new friends. But I gotta count the 12, and I'm running out of body parts to count. I can count to 11. 12 is beyond my comprehension. So let me just count here. That could be the next crocheter writes, how do you count beyond 10? Well, let me tell you. I can do 11, but I can't do any more than that. Okay, let me keep on going. I should call this the study of toilet seats. The batter just keeps going up and down. Okay, I might be buying into the back loop only. Kelly and I will have to blow together on Wednesday at Stitch Night. But she's probably working right now, but you know what Kelly's big secret is? Temu. We're both Temu whores. I placed my order the other day and it's gonna come quicker than Amazon. So then she kept shoving her phone in my face and I'm like, I don't want to see your Temu because her Temu makes me want to order on my Temu, and like she's totally enabling me and I don't appreciate it. So then I said to her the other day, I said, have you ever ordered shoes on Temu? Why, Michael? No, I've not. And I said, well, I did. So if they come and they look like crap, then I've got what I paid for. But they say that Temu is like very much of an assault on you, in the sense that it just keeps messaging you all the time. So anyway, it just keeps sending me messages. You missed it. You could have had this. You could have had that. We have a special gift for you. You got to click here. So you just got to ignore all those messages and then just get the good prices. Yeah. So Wendy likes Temu. An order just shipped today. So Kelly Ray got her purse from Temu, and what a great purse it was, Kelly. Totally worth it. So anyway, so she was talking about Temu, and I'm like, I didn't even know what Temu really was. And then Daniel, I started wanting to do miniatures, and Daniel says, have you figured out Temu? And I said, I haven't been on it. So I went and I looked, which turned into a free account, which turned into a little order. Shut up, Kelly. So it turned into a little order, and so anyway. So I was either going to buy my pom-poms on Temu or Amazon, but the reviews on Temu weren't that great, so I'm a review person. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. See, this is what I can't have, friends. Kelly said that I Temu'd really hard. Oh, she wishes. She says, you can get the free shipping if you could just order here. Yeah. So anyway, they said that they've not turned on the messages for Temu, but the Temu messaging is unbelievable. Kelly, we should get together and just have a Temu off. Maybe I can order you a gift, something that includes batteries. Like an Energizer bunny. No, that's a monkey clapping. Does Temu even sell batteries? I don't even know. Yeah, we can have a total Temu party. Let's order the shit out of everything. So people who are ordering, so I have not been hacked. So I haven't had that experience, but I don't play any games online either. A lot of the people that I see get hacked are the ones that are playing the games, like, the contests and like what kind of cat are you, or all those kind of things. Every time I see people playing those games, I then see, I just been hacked, and I don't know why. So I haven't experienced any Temu hacking, but I don't play any of the games on Facebook either. So Margie got, so anyway, my friend Tanya, she does the craft show circuit, so I got her a whole whack of Christmas buttons for her tea towels that she sells. And she goes, well, Michael, how much do I owe you? And I said, you don't, sweetie. So she's got a gay son, and her gay son's married to another chap. And anyway, so we kind of have that great relationship. Like, we can both relate to each other. So I'm getting her all these Christmas buttons. Yeah. So Temu is a company based in China. Yeah, that doesn't impact me at all. I feel, okay, the way that I feel, and you're gonna totally disagree, I think honestly, my private information is pretty much out there. I believe that's to be true. So what are you gonna do? You know? So the only way to prevent online bull crap is not to be online, period. Yeah. So her son is married to another gay son, yes. So anyway, we affectionately call him, Kelly, what do we call him? It's a sucking device. What do you call that? Oh, jeez. The soother, what do we call him? Oh. What do we call that? A dum-dum. So anyways, she calls her son dum-dum. And I said, I don't understand. She says, well, my son was on the pacifier so long that we nicknamed it the dum-dum. And I said, I said, you never banged your kid off the pacifier fast enough, and ends up wanting to suck a real dum-dum. So we affectionately call him dum-dum. So anyway, so we kind of have a good laugh about that. So I say, what's Dum Dum up to? Anyway, I'm trying to remember his even real name. I can remember his husband's name. Oh, PJ and Mitchell. So Dum Dum and Mitchell. Oh God. See, there's special places in hell for people like me. Dum Dums are lollipops. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So anyway, I joke with Tanya, and Tanya's a little bit older than I am, and I said, you never got that kid off the dum-dum fast enough. Oh, Lord. We have a really good time at our stitch group. The women that show up and men are really quite easygoing, and we have a really good thing, but we can never film live because the crap that comes out of our mouth on a Wednesday night is like, oh. Yeah, the jokes and the storytelling can be quite interesting. So we've had several people saying, you need to film live so I can feel included. No, you don't. Because a lot of it is kind of inside jokes that carry on from week to week to week. And so Candy says they call it a plug. Binky. We call it a Binchy or a Binky. I think it's called, isn't there a Binky Patrol? Binky Patrol is a kids organization for blankets. There's Project Linus, and then there's the Binky Patrol. So our Wendy's still on ice cream talk. Okay, so I just did back loop only all the way. It didn't kill me, so I think I'll keep it in the pattern. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? Oh, just keep that. No, I'm not gonna keep that. I'll just, sorry, I'm yapping at myself. Well, I think I need 2 half doubles. So I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. I see dead people. Who's on first? Sorry, I'm just concentrating on something. Typical man, I can't do 2 things at one time. It's got to get this into my head. So I'm just concentrating. What brand of do you, I'm currently using a Caron 1 pound. So actually it's one of my favorite brands of all time. It's not readily available here in Canada, but that doesn't mean I can't use it. But you can definitely order it online. And I like it because the dogs can jump up on me, the cats and whatever, and the yarn. It's a value-based acrylic, so it really holds up. It washes excellently. So it's one of my favorite brands of them all. So I helped Versano get through a depressive state, honestly. You know, you're really not alone, honestly. A lot of us are just dealing with shit. Just, I'm just pulling out of a bad cycle that I was just in. So I think it happens to everybody. Well, it happens to most of us. Sometimes I think we're depressed and we don't even realize we're depressed. We just are functioning, and not very well, I might say. And humanity is not the nicest bunch of species either. So it's, you know, our worst enemy is sometimes our own inner thoughts, but it's also sometimes our closest people that we are connected to as well. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, I'm live.
What?
I'm live. What are you doing? Are you done?
No.
Oh. You want to check your meat?
No. It's okay.
Is it okay?
Yep. Just looked at the temperature. It should be fine.
Yeah. So this is Daniel.
Hi.
Kelly's online. Kelly's supposed to be working.
Oh.
Yeah, she's ratted me out and everything. She said that I Temu'd really hard.
Of course it is. Okay. I just need water. Do you think you can get corn later?
Yeah. What time is it now?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you got cash?
No, you do.
How do you know I got cash?
I don't know.
Were you in my purse?
No, I don't.
Better not have been.
I don't sneak.
Do you got purse in your parking drawer?
What?
You got to change it. How much is corn?
Corn's at $10 a dozen, or just $5 for 6.
$5 for 6? And how much corn do you want? Just 6?
We only need 6.
And what kind? You want yellow or peaches?
Oh. 3 and 3.
Okay. Guess who's going to be on corn patrol? It didn't Kelly said a see you later, corn. I think she did. Yeah. So there's certain vegetables that we only eat. So it's $3.25. There's certain vegetables we only eat in season, and corn is definitely one of them. So it's always a treat, but the corn season is almost over. Anyway, it is so good, it makes you moan. I know for you that don't enjoy corn, this corn, I don't know what is going on with the corn here in Nova Scotia, but the corn just makes you moan. And it is like, I don't need a first date, just get me the corn cob. So yeah, I don't know. So then somebody says, well, you obviously haven't had corn from Iowa. And I'm like, yeah, because Daniel and I try not to order food that is, or get food that is not local. We try to eat in season. So we support the local farmers market. So corn, when it's here, oh my God, because it's right from the pasture, right to you. Like, we'll just call him Corn Man. Well, I got other words for Daniel after hanging up the damn phone on me. I think it starts with A. So Margie lives in Iowa, so just pluck in the corn. So would be good for her. I don't know. I've never had delicious corn. Like, I thought corn was okay, but then once I moved to Nova Scotia, the corn here is like, I don't know what's going on with it, but it just makes you just, ugh. So I'm with the elote flavored stuff. I don't know what that is. So can I make an autism blanket, please? I don't know what that means. I don't know what, for autism, I don't know what you would do for that. Here's my thing, and you can agree to disagree with me, but I feel like there's certain things that a designer like me should never design. And one of those ones are like something like the autism blanket. I don't have any direct experiences with people with autism. I don't have kids. And I feel like if I'm going to design something, then it needs to come from a place that is deep within it, that means something. And I worry that if I design something, somebody just mentioned puzzle piece, I worry that if I design something that I've missed the true meaning of what it meant by not having comprehension of the true meaning of what it's meant to be. Does that make sense? So my designs, when I design them, are really quite personal, just generally speaking, and I try not to apply a meaning to something of that nature when I don't really have the comprehension of what it means to have an autistic person in my life. So I never had my own kids, and I'm very rarely around kids, and I don't know any adults that have autism in person. I know it is a common thing though. So I think that I have seen puzzle pieces, Afghans, if you're looking for that. I almost think Yarn Inspirations has a puzzle piece, something. I don't really remember. So Liz, okay, so there you go. See, that's the thing. So Liz says she's autistic and finds the puzzle piece offensive, and many of us do. So you got to be careful. So then that's why I won't design it, because I don't understand the symbolism and what it truly means to be autistic. So I don't want to design something where I'm literally trashing a culture or a lifestyle because I don't understand the true meaning of it. So that's kind of where I stand on that. Actually, now that I think about it, I have a friend that also finds the puzzle offensive. And I'm trying to remember what she said to me about that. Anyway, I don't really know. So it's a very touchy subject. That's right. Yeah, best to leave it to private discussions. I agree. Wendy, you're totally right on that. I don't really have an opinion. I have an opinion for what my regulations are for designing, but I don't have an opinion on other things like that because I don't truly understand it. When I say about understanding, what I mean is that it's more than just looking it up, but to have true, to be able to hear stories and to relay feelings and understanding through somebody telling me something personally in person. I think that's what I kind of mean by that. It's like I guess it's like the Jewish faith there, like with the blue and the white for Christmas, like that culture is very, very specific. So for me, just to label a blanket that's blue and white as a Jewish faith orientation, when I'm not Jewish myself, is a disservice to something like that. So it's better to leave stuff like that to those that are in the culture that will be able to stand behind the meaning of what they did, other than just, you know, colors, if that makes any sense. What did you do? What did you do? I heard you barking. Okay, so I'm going to dash off, and when is the Fiberfest in PEI? I think it's the second week of October, and I need to check the meat, and I better go get some corn for supper, and I will talk to y'all later.